What if I told you that there are epic food stories that often go untold? Join your host, Seth, as he dives into the thrilling world of food challenges and competitive eating, interviewing those who not only take them on, but create them. Buckle up for the heart-pounding moments, behind-the-scenes experiences, and the passion fueling it all. This is Food Challenge News.
Welcome back to the Food Challenge News Podcast. I'm your host, Seth, and today I'm joined by Jack Legath. Jack, how are you doing today?
Hey Seth, I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain. It's a beautiful day where I'm at. I'm currently in Columbus, so nice weather. Can't complain at all.
What are you doing over in Columbus?
I am on a little work trip, but there's a food challenge nearby, so I actually stopped and did a food challenge right before coming here.
Do we get a teaser about it, or is it like super secret?
It's some place I've been before called the Hometown. It's in Millersport, Ohio, about, let's say 40 minutes away. And I've done the challenge before, but they can check out my page if they want to see the video.
All right, perfect. So, what's been standing out to you the most in the eating scene lately? Like, what have you been seeing?
I feel like in the eating scene, there's been a lot of new eaters, I feel like. I mean, I'm not going to say I've been around for the longest time. I think I've been around for about 2 to 3 years, but I feel like there's been a rapid increase of new food challenges and new food challengers as well, which is kind of cool in my opinion. Outside of that, I feel like in the eating scene, there's a lot of more restaurants have been incorporating food challenges. Obviously, after the whole COVID era, all the restaurant challenges shut down, but I feel like there's been a rapid spike of that kind of niche going forward.
Yeah, I've been seeing quite a bit of new challenges, here in the United States, but also just all over the world.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, one of the restaurants most popular I've been seeing is Cattleman's Steakhouse. Like they've been really popular, especially in the United Kingdom as well. Like there's restaurants all over, and there's been a huge uptake.
And you've actually been to Cattleman's, right?
I have. I went earlier last year, about maybe March, April, 2 different trips.
And how was that experience?
It was mind blowing. I mean, that was my first ever international trip, and they treated me amazingly. Like a hospitality, I got to meet other food creators, content creators. I got to meet Max versus Food, Franco's Feast, and then the Cattlemen's, who were very familiar with the U.S. culture, and they treated me exactly like family. So it was a phenomenal experience.
That sounds like an exciting time.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So a lot of your content features local restaurants and food spots across the United States. But what's something you've learned from visiting just so many different places?
Obviously, everybody specializes in their own, I guess, own specific way of making food. But I feel like the most unique is that everybody has their own story. What I enjoy most is going to these different restaurants and getting to know like the owners and how they came to be. And usually everybody has like the same goal, but the backstory behind it, everybody has their a whole different way or whole different lifestyle, which I find is really cool actually.
And so how did you originally get involved in the world of food challenges and also competitive eating?
Originally, it started out, I feel like as majority of everybody starts out, you are watching Man versus Food on TV, and that kind of obviously grown up, watched it with my family, and then eventually I got into fitness, lifting in the gym, and found out about cutting weight, gaining weight, and during my cuts, I would actually watch Eric the Electric in his high calorie videos. And so I just put him up on the treadmill as I was walking on the treadmill. And then I stumbled upon one of his restaurant challenges. And I started looking around my area and I'm like, I think I could eat a bunch of food. Looked one up, found one. I did it, but I felt so bad. I had to go to work after it and I had so many regrets. But then I was like, man, I just got free food. And then after that, it kind of just spiraled after that.
So how long was your recovery time from that first one? Like after going into work and then you get off work, like what was your recovery time looking like?
It took me probably about a week. That whole day, I was just so sluggish. My stomach was in pain. And I don't think I went back to normal eating or normal fitness for about a week. My stomach was just like sore from the expansion of the food in it.
So how long until you tried your next challenge after that?
Believe I that was my first ever challenge was at Rise and Dine in around August, July, and then I didn't do another challenge until that January when I was back at school and college. So about a 6 month recovery time.
And then were you just hooked after that?
Yeah, I mean, again, I started looking up more challenges, and then as a college student, you find out that getting a free meal and then getting gift cards, which then spirals into possibly getting money, you just get hooked after that.
So in addition to challenges, you also take on eating contests, and you've won quite a few over the years. How do you stay focused on strategy and performance with a live audience watching?
I feel like growing up, I was always with in the sports realm. So obviously, in the whole sports realm, you always have the audience, the teammates, the families, and everybody's very vocal. I feel like with that loud volume surrounding me, I was always used to that. So, and plus, I was never really one to get under that pressure. I always kind of think of this whole food realm and food niche as more of a fun thing to do rather than a competitive. Like at the end of the day, we're all doing the same thing, trying to have fun. So obviously, there's going to be a little bit of competitiveness, but I can't really get that serious over eating food if that makes sense.
So you always just had fun with it.
Yeah, I would say that.
So you talked a little bit about prizes that you can win from food challenges, but do you have any favorite prizes you've won from eating contests besides money?
Oh, 100%. I mean, I've got a few custom belts, which I find amazing from the restaurants to really get that much involved. But one of the one that's probably my favorite is I was recently at a pierogi eating contest in Pittsburgh, and they were offering up pierogies as a prize. So they handed you a whole bunch of homemade pierogies, I believe from the local church. And then another prize was from that specific contest was a custom ring, like a bedazzled ring, which I've never seen a ring from a challenge. I guess maybe from like the Wing Bowl. I'm pretty sure they did a ring as well, but as with it had a little pierogi on it, and it was one of the most unique ones I've ever gotten.
Yeah, that's really neat. And I've always found the championship belts really cool. But yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of a ring.
Yeah, when I got the ring, everybody around me was kind of like blown away of how much detail was put into it. So I was ecstatic about it.
And for those unfamiliar, what is a pierogi?
A pierogi is basically the way I like to describe it. It's in the shape of a calzone, but it's just mashed potato. Like it's literally just a mashed potato fold over. And it's Polish. I'm actually Polish, so I grew up eating them like 24/7 in my childhood, so I was used to it.
You said it's shaped like a calzone, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know how to describe the shape. I just think of like the little like literally like a fold over. That's how I describe the shape, but that's the best I can describe it.
So you've got a few belts now from contests.
Yep, I've got, I believe, three belts now, three belts, and then one custom made from a local restaurant for being one of the first to do your challenge. It was kind of like I don't want to say like an appreciation gift. Yeah, I guess you could say it was like an appreciation gift for being one of the first, and then that kind of sparked more challengers coming in. So it was appreciation, thank you gift. But yeah, three from contests.
So do you have like a special wall, like at your house, that you display everything, or?
Yeah, we have a little trophy room, I guess you could say, because there's just nowhere else to put anything. I just have all with all the t-shirts and shirts, it's just getting a little clustered. But yeah, there's a dedicated room, I guess you could say.
So is that wild to you now to have those belts and the ring and everything else? Like thinking back from when you were feeling so bad after that first one?
It's quite funny because growing up in sports, you always used to got these like medals, trophies, like these huge trophies if you won like a championship, but again the participation medals, but the like winning prizes exactly like that just for eating food, and then like you said, to come this far, it's I don't want to say silly, but it's just funny the turnaround of it. Like I would never think I would be winning these type of prizes from it. So it's really cool, honestly.
Yeah, it is. And you've only been in, what'd you say, like 2 or 3 years now?
I believe I've been deemed a professional for 2 years, but I guess technically if you go off of the first food challenge, it's been about 3 years.
So when you're in an eating contest and things just start getting difficult, what is the moment when you know that you're either in control or in trouble?
Would say the minute I know I'm in trouble is if I'm having trouble like wallowing. Obviously, for myself, I can't speak for everybody, but when focusing on myself, I usually I don't chew often. And so when I can feel myself starting to chew and my body starts focusing less on that food, I know I'm really starting to slow down. And then I have to start monitoring the people around me for contest sake and basically almost budgeting how much I'm eating to try to outlast them, if that makes sense.
So have you ever had like a truly scary moment? Like have you almost choked or has it not really gotten that far?
I did almost choke. One of my first ever contests in Kentucky, it's actually coming up for their annual. It's a donut hole eating contest. And it's basically how many donut holes you can eat in 4 minutes. And they're not like the Krispy Kreme donuts. They're more like, I'd say like 2 times that, but like double, triple glazed. So they're super thick and just not dry, but like that consistency. And at the end, you obviously do the chipmunk technique. And if nobody knows what that is, you basically just stuff your mouth and your cheeks full. And then you just have to keep chewing to swallow it. And I did that, but I overcompensated it and it started spilling down my throat. And I don't have a gag reflex. So I can't gag it up like a normal person. So with that, I tried to drink some water to wash it down, but due to the makeup of the donut being mainly of carbohydrates, the ingredients of it, the water absorbs it. So then it created almost like a clog in my throat. And I was like looking around because I realized what was happening, and everybody thought I was throwing up, but in reality, I was choking, but I can't communicate that. But then I was able to almost like not vomit, but push it back up with my throat muscles and then slowly rechew everything and then get it down and try to squeeze past that water so I'm not drowning slash choking. But luckily, we made it out okay. So I'm grateful for that.
And then after that, how did you get back into the rhythm of like was that like midway through the contest or
It was right at the end. It was right at the chipmunk technique. So it was just stuffing my face and then had to, I guess, figure out a way to not throw it up to lose the contest. And yeah, it was something.
yeah, it must have been terrifying, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think I was probably a little nervous to do anything food related after that. I didn't realize what I was getting myself into and like the severe nature of it because everything just kind of, I don't want to say came natural, but I've never chipmunked like that. So then yeah, I got a little nervous to do anything after that, but eventually we got back into the rhythm.
So moving back over to the food challenge side of things, what restaurant challenge stands out as the most chaotic or memorable that you've ever done?
I would say one of the most both chaotic and memorable is when I was first starting out. I don't know, maybe about like less than a year in this local restaurant in Ohio in Akron, Youngstown area. They wanted to try to promote food challenges and they wanted to try to promote an eating contest. And they said they would make maybe like a 10-pound deep dish Chicago style pizza. And he didn't weigh anything. He kind of did everything by heart. But then after he went to go weigh it, and he had one of those old school scales, so nothing electronic, the ones where you have to actually slide over the measurements to try to get it exact. And when he put it on, the scale actually broke itself because the max out was 12.5, and then the scale just combusted right there. So that was crazy just off of that. And then trying to fit that as my maximum into my stomach was very chaotic, but it was both fun and an eye-opening experience to show where I exactly am compared to everybody else in the food realm.
So what was going through your mind when that scale just like collapsed?
Screwed. That was my first thought right when it came. I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to fit this in my stomach. But there was an audience, so I knew I would have to try rather than be like, nope. They invited me out, and I was like, I'm going to have to suck it up either way.
And what did the owner say?
Yeah, so the owner, he was basically the only one working there, and I think he just said, "Well, obviously we understand it. We did not think it was gonna weigh this much, so do as much as you can, but if you do it, it'd be an amazing feat." But I luckily, it was like a local thing they're trying to start up, so there's no entry fee to pay for it, so it was just free either way, so that's also why it was not a huge deal for it, but if I had put in an entry fee, it might have been a different circumstance in that area.
So you ended up completing it then, or?
Yeah, I completed it around 34 minutes and 32 seconds, I believe.
And how'd you feel after that one?
Absolutely terrible. I think I sat in the corner on a stool just contemplating my life for like 30 minutes while they kept trying to talk to me, ask if I'm okay.
So moving over to a little bit of YouTube, you were once featured in the Takedown Twins' YouTube channel doing an unlimited chocolate challenge. And when I say unlimited, I mean it was a lot of chocolate. So how did you get linked up with the Takedown Twins, and what do you remember most from that experience?
I originally got linked up because they transitioned to their eating YouTube. They tried to do like a little rebrand to try to get into the competitive eating realm, and they posted on their socials of anybody that was interested with like actual experience to try to get that competitive nature side. And I think a lot of people did respond, and I did as well. And they reached out to try to see openings, and luckily we found a common date. So I went down there, and I would say what I remembered most was how really deceptively difficult it was. I always try to think I'm a sweets lover and I thrive in the sweets realm. And of course, who I was trying to compete against was Jeff Esper. And if nobody knows who that is, I'd be very shocked. But one of the top ranked eaters in probably the world. So I thought I had a pretty good, not a pretty good chance, but I thought I would have a fair fight. And after eating that much chocolate, I've never had my limit. So when finding that limit, it definitely was a little humbling. So I'd say that would probably be my most memorable. It's more of a mental challenge than a physical one, I would say.
And you had to wash it down with chocolate milk, right?
Yeah, it was endless chocolate. I never thought that would be an issue, but never thought I'd get sick of chocolate milk.
And you were also interviewed on camera as well. Was that your first interview you've ever done, like in the eating world?
That's a really good question. I think I might have done one. I believe I did one before that in the past year by a newspaper called Out of the Blue. It's just a local newspaper, but I've been interviewed for the newspaper, but on camera, that's my first ever. That was honestly really cool to do. It
Yeah, how'd you like being on camera being interviewed?
was a little nerve-wracking when you're sitting there with a whole bunch of cameras on you. But the Takedown Twins, I mean, they explained it super well, and they basically said like it's not as awkward, and anything you say can be cut out if needed. They made it really simple. The process was really easy. Again, nerve-wracking, but we made it through, and I think the video came out well for what they did. I have to give major props to them. They made me seem less awkward than what I really was.
Yeah, and it looks very professional too, from like the editing to just the close-ups to the interview. Like it was a good video.
Yeah, the effort they put in, I have to give them major props. They take so much time to put everything together before their videos and then to edit all of that. They spend weeks doing that. So major appreciation there.
So moving on to a little bit of hobbies outside of food content, what's something people might be surprised to learn that Jack Legath is into?
I feel like it's such a odd thing for me because in this food realm, I feel like everybody is into fitness. Like, if I'm being honest, I'm a pretty boring individual. Everything I post is what I'm into. I mean, I like fitness is a huge part. I run, I lift every day. Been years doing it. Outside of that, I guess traveling, exploring new places. I tend to travel as much as possible, and in my social medias, I try to showcase that because that's truly what I enjoy outside of the eating realm. So whenever I'm traveling specifically for eating, I guess kind of like I am now, I'll always try to showcase maybe like the outskirts of a city or the inwards of a city, meet new people like restaurant owners. I think the whole social aspect as well is what I really enjoy. But in hobby wise, I don't know if there's like anything specific. I guess it's just if you count exploring as a hobby, I'd say that.
Well, and also, it's no secret that you love Buc-ee's.
I do indeed. It's getting a little overwhelming with their expansion. Now they're planning on expanding closer to my hometown, and I'm not the biggest fan of that, if I'm being honest. I feel like it really ruins the specialty of it, the novelty. It's like if you had Disney World, but you expanded that to multiple different spots in each state. I feel like that ruins it.
Right, so you like going and traveling there, and it's just a special experience.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel as special anymore. I can't wear my Bucky onesie anymore. It just feels like I'm going there just to grab a meal, like to a normal gas station now. Before I like driving all the way to Kentucky. It's a fun little road trip. Get to experience everything, but I don't know. Bucky's is my favorite, but if they start expanding a little bit more, I can't say it's going to be my favorite for long.
So I always wanted to go to Buc-ee's, and when we did our restaurant spotlight in Charleston, South Carolina last October, on the way home, we were able to stop at a Buc-ee's, and we didn't get to stay there long because we were really tired and wanted to get home. But it was a great experience, and my mom loves Buc-ee's, but she's never been to one. So for those who either don't know what Buc-ee's is or just haven't been, can you just say a little bit about what it's like what makes it special?
And there is so much to say about Bucky's. I mean, it's almost like the Disney World of gas stations. On one end, you have like a stereotypical gas station set up with little aisles and snacks. Then in the middle, you have almost like a bakery slash butcher area where they just are slicing brisket, slicing pulled pork, slicing chicken, and then the bakery on the end. And then all the way on the opposite side, there's the whole like merchandise section. They have everything from flags to stuffed animals to t-shirts to sweatshirts to again like my onesie. And it's just this massive, literally it feels like a grocery store, I would say. Like a super Walmart, but it's for some reason a gas station. And there are pumps everywhere. It just takes over. It's like a travel destination. And I can't say enough about it. It's amazing.
Yeah, it really is, and you're not joking about those gas pumps. I mean, when we went there, there was like a ton.
And it's still packed somehow. I don't understand.
All right, so now that we got Bucky's out of the way, moving on to a little bit of community. How often do you get recognized out in public? Because you do a lot of food reviews, but you also do the eating contest, which we covered, the food challenges. Has anyone ever stopped you and be like, "Hey, you're Jack Eats, like I know you"?
Well, shockingly, I don't get recognized that often. I would say when I was working like one of my side jobs, like not too long ago, someone actually approached me. They're like, "You look really familiar." And I was like, and I knew where this was going. And because it's just the curly hair is what gives me away. Like that's what I'm basically known for. It's what everybody loves on my socials. And they're like, "You look really familiar." And I'm just like, "Oh, like, where do you think you know me from?" They're like, are you on Facebook? And do you have a page called Jack Eats? I'm like, "Yes, that's me." And they're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm a big fan." And of course I appreciate it. It means a lot. But when you're at work, you're at least doing something out in public and don't expect to get seen. It's a little awkward, I would say. But again, I always appreciate it. But other than that, it hasn't been too many times.
And on the other side of it, how do you handle criticism of your content online? Whether it's a comment you see on like a forum or a comment on like your YouTube video, how do you handle that?
I would say at first, it actually really, I wouldn't say really bothered me. When I was first in like getting popular almost, not popular, but recognized in this niche, not by the general public, but in the niche, I was very judged. And that kind of put a negative mindset into my mind, like, what's so different about what I do? But then eventually, someone actually gave me some advice, and it was that any publicity is good publicity. And so that kind of like taught me to embrace it almost. So now with my content, I kind of enjoy getting a rise out of people because it more benefits my content in the way. People don't realize that even if negative or positive comments, it boosts the algorithm for my own page. And people on social media always respond more to negative content or any negative output. Like if I put anything that they disagree with, they're going to disagree right back and they're going to make sure that their opinion is known. And so I have fun getting a little bit of rise out of people now. And that's kind of how I major handle it. It's just fun to watch people get so worked up over a simple topic such as food, in my mind.
And I think on your Jack Eatzz page, you're close to 100,000, right? I think you're at like 92 or 93K.
Yeah, just at 93 this morning.
And how was that feeling?
It's crazy. If you'd have told me I have 93 followers on a social media app that is mainly known for older generation, I'd be a little taken back by it. But I mean, it's been a really fun journey. In the past, I think I gained 60K, or I guess I gained 10K to 60K in like a month starting in August. And then it's just kind of slowly increased by then. But again, I'm extremely grateful for it. I don't know how it happened, but definitely not going to take it for granted.
What do you think contributed to that August increase, like in that month?
I'm being honest, I just think it's the one video. If people don't realize it takes one video for you to get popular, and then just staying consistent after that, it continues to boost that, and people tend to continue to watch those videos and continues to build that audience. I'd say once I saw that video take off, it then almost made me want to keep posting content. If you have to get through that small period of time, and then once you get past that, it only goes up from there.
Yeah, I've heard that quite a lot with social media as far as like consistency can be a big factor, just staying consistent.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I was never consistent when I started. And then literally the one video, which is funny because it's the video that the restaurant that I just said I was visiting them, the Miller Sport Hometown Hot Dogs. That was my first ever video, and that's what blew me up, which is kind of why the reason I'm out here. And literally that video got 2 million views, and it just kept on growing from there. I don't really understand the algorithm. I don't understand a lot of it, but you've got to keep being consistent after that at least.
So walk us through when it got the first million. What were you saying to yourself?
I was more in awe, and obviously social media works in weird ways. I was like, you got to be kidding me. But a little frustrated because you don't get monetized on that. So I wasn't monetized at the time on any of my platforms. So all those views kind of just, it didn't really do anything for me. And at that time, like I was mainly focused, I don't want to say I was mainly focused on the money, but when you post all those videos and you're not necessarily getting rewarded in that aspect, you get a little bit frustrated. But you realize that 1 million people watch your video of you eating food. It's really cool in that scheme of things. And then after the fact, I realized that like I can continue to get these million of views. Oh, I can benefit from this and put it back into what I'm producing and putting out. So I think it really skyrocketed my future and made me really excited.
And I think on your TikTok, you also have a few videos, or maybe just one that's reached 1 million to 2 million, right?
Yeah, I think I have around 3 videos that have reached 1 million, I believe. I believe around 3 million. Or 3 videos with 1 million each.
Before we wrap it up, what's one thing you want people to remember about you?
Really good question. I don't know if I could say anything about me necessarily, but I feel like in a general spoken area, never take people's personality on social media as their actual personality. I feel like as my persona that I put on social media, on this young, I don't want to say cocky, but I definitely look a little cocky sometimes, but I would say a lot of people put on that persona to gain that audience. So for anybody out in the social media realm, do not judge the book by its cover. There's always something underneath, and someone's always doing it for another reason. And so that would probably be what I'd say for the general population. I would never give any advice just for myself.
And Jack, I want to thank you so much for coming on the podcast and chatting with me today.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you reaching out. When I saw you reach out, I was excited because I've been following you for a good bit. So I'm extremely honored.
We appreciate that, and we'll have all of Jack's links in the description below. And thanks for listening, everybody, as always, and we'll see you in the next episode.